I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac. So as the cards are appearing in each house, and those are the cards those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. I've already shuffled and laid out the cards. So let's start. Okay, so in the first house, we have lunar eclipse change. So the first house is everything to do with the self, your appearance, your physical body, your vitality. It's also your personal independence, how you make your way outwards in the world, and your self-oriented interests. It's also, how other people perceive you. So your observable characteristics, your personality, and also what you project outwards to them. So how they perceive you, what you're projecting, but it's all to do with yourself, your own physical self. So now with lunar eclipse change coming in, it's bringing exactly that, some sort of abrupt change coming in for you, whether this is physically or it could be on your outlook or the way you are, moving forward at the moment. So some sort of abrupt change comes about, which could then also just be a complete change of direction. So a new direction, some sort of new perspective or attitude, how you look at yourself, and also what you're projecting outwards. But whatever the change is that's coming for you at this time, it's inevitable and it's necessary. These are all cycles that we go through. This is very much a cycle that is coming to bear here. So whatever comes up for you and it shifts you forward or shifts you into a new direction or some sort of new attitude, it is inevitable and it is necessary in order to bring growth. So this could also be something that you've known about, something that has kind of sort of been bubbling under the surface at this time. It's sort of been there. You just haven't quite had the full understanding of it, or you haven't been able to pull all the threads together yet. But it's going to come up now. It's going to bubble over. So it's been on a simmer, it's been around, but now it's bubbling over. So this kind of abrupt change or this bubbling over is going to create some kind of upheaval, some kind of turmoil, where you're going to be feeling out of your comfort zone. Initially, everybody does when you go through shifts and changes like this. So you will, the old and familiar kind of falls away, and it's that transition period where you now got to sort yourself out and find other ways to do things. It will require effort to get yourself onto firmer footing, to start to feel comfortable again. So it's that transitionary period. Whatever the upheaval is or the change that comes upon you, it can wrap up within 6 weeks, or it can continue sort of unfold over a period of 6 months. It also could be just something new coming to the surface. Something comes up, it could be dramatic, it could be very unexpected. It creates a bit of upheaval. It could be the ending of something and the beginning of something else, or the end of a chapter and a new chapter now coming in. But there are cycles involved. Something could also just be dissolving. So as I said, it's something that you've kind of been aware of, but not fully. And it could be dissolving to make way for new things now. You may have memories and a bit of nostalgia about it, or be thinking about, reflecting on your memories while all this is going on. But whatever it is that comes about, what it will do is it will get you to where you need to be. And it's just that transitionary period can feel very uncomfortable and unsettling while it's unfolding. Then in the second house, we have your destiny. So your second house is your house of your income. So this is your money coming in. It's also the house of your self-worth and your values. And all of these are kind of integrally connected. With the Yod Destiny card coming in, I feel this is coming up from this first house card. It's kind of spilling over into various other aspects of your chart. But there's going to be some kind of disruptive energy going on in this house. There's a bit of stress, a bit of tension, but it's just you've got to keep going through all of that upheaval and turmoil, or whatever is going on around you. You just have to keep on, moving forward. You may just be feeling out of step with others at this time, but that is kind of necessary, because then what it does is it forces you to go inward, to consult your own inner self and plot your own course, because that's really what this is about. This is about sort of digging deep to find your own truth, what works for you, what isn't working for you. You may be working alone at this time or feeling alone in some way. And you just need to figure out what isn't working. So some sacrifices might be needed, and it's also going to require you to be adaptable in some way. So, when it comes to your value systems, this could be sort of all forms of ownership as well. So this is all your possessions, real estate, land, property of all kinds. So maybe you're having to shift things in that environment, or you're having to let go of some possessions because you don't need them anymore. It's not working for you. You must really have around you what is working for you. Streamline your finances, your income, and redirect it. Perhaps it needs redirecting at this time. So some sacrifices will be needed, and you're going to have to be adaptable to fully access this card and the energy that it brings. But it's about finding your own truth and trusting that everything will work out as it's supposed to. I feel this is also tying in with your 8th house, because you have uncertain circumstances going on in your 8th house as well, which is the house of big finance. So whatever is going to go down for you in your 1st house is going to spill over into these 2 houses. So it looks like your finances are going to be getting an overhaul. There's some kind of rearrangement going on. And the 2 are connected. But this is a destiny card. So whatever is coming for you in this house is something that's kind of fated. So you're not going to be able to force things. You're just going to have to keep working through all whatever's going on and keep yourself together and follow your own inner truth. Then in the 3rd house, we have Scorpio, I transform. So your 3rd house is your house of communication. This is all forms of communication, written, verbal, body language. It's also contracts and documents. And this can be communication with the world in general, the public, or people people around you, or it could be with specific family members. So that's aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, siblings, even neighbors. Your neighborhood comes into the 3rd house as well. So it's your local environment. Early education is also indicated, any form of learning. So with Scorpio transform coming in, this is yet another self-analysis card. I feel, as I said, it's coming from that initial shift that you're having in your first house. It's going to be spilling over, as I said. So how you're going to be communicating with others is going to be also important. So there's a self-analysis going on there. This is a testing time. You may have to just keep your emotions under control at this time, but you could find that hidden things and hidden feelings are coming to the surface at this time. So this could be emotions, secrets, resentments. You could also just not being taken in at this time. So this is how you could be projecting. You're just not going to be taken in by anybody at this time. You could be feeling a bit suspicious about circumstances. So it's a sort of a difficult time, and it's a time to protect your reputation as well. So you could be standing alone on certain issues. Money matters are going to be important. So taxes, property, assets, inheritances, anything to do with that is all going to come up for review with this card. It's about being resourceful, so you're going to have to be resourceful and protective of what you have worked hard for. There could also be renewal or regeneration of something in this house. So perhaps you're renewing contact with somebody, there could be a family member or somebody else, or you're regenerating something. It could be something to do with a contract or a document, as I said. Or it could just be that you are undergoing some kind of regeneration from a communication point of view, how you conduct yourself, how you express yourself in the outer world. But in order to get there, you're going to have to address sort of your deeper feelings about things. There could be secrets swirling around you in this house, or just things coming out into the open, really. So just be aware of all of those issues in this house at the time. Then in the 4th house, we have air element communicating. So now with all of this going on in the first 3 houses, how you are in your home life is going to be important. So the fourth house is everything to do with your physical home, your actual, bricks and mortar or wherever it is that you live. But it's also the atmosphere in the home, the people in your home, and also your relationship with your ancestry, your roots, your foundation, your your family tree, your ethnic identity, whatever is appropriate for you, your ancestry, however that comes in for you. So it's your relationship with that. For some people, that's quite traumatic or difficult. So with air element communicating coming in, this is an air card, so it's everything to do with communication of all kinds. So it's doubly important now. With this coming in, especially with this other stresses and tensions going on in your other houses, what you say and how you say it is going to be really, really, really important. So be careful. Use positive words. Think positive thoughts, and then use positive words in relation to that. So use your words for good. Think positive and speak positive at this time. Will go a long way to negate any sort of difficult circumstances. Put into words what you want and what you expect. You're going to have to think things over as well, think things through. So this is a card of weighing up everything, evaluation. You may need to be logical and objective at this time. Fairness also comes in with this card. You could also be gaining clarity or some sort of solution for matters in this house. You could also be receiving news of some kind. Perhaps a visitor is coming to you and they're bringing news, or that somebody from afar, from a long distance, is coming to visit you at this time. It's significant in some way. It could also be that you are having some sort of upgrade in your home environment. So perhaps in your actual physical home, you are changing things. And this is regarding technology and electronics, some sort of upgrade, because this is all about, like the internet and communication of all kinds. So you could be changing things to do with that in your home. And it's very well indicated with the air element as well. The card is also the card of manifestation. So as I said, positive thoughts, positive words, with anything to do with the fourth house at this time. It could also be that in your physical home, you need to cleanse the air in some way. So you need to clear the air or cleanse the air. And this is why your words are important, but also your actions here. So, perhaps saging your home, burning certain herbs, whatever it is that you can find to actually clear the air in your home, cleanse the environment and so on, to lift the energy levels in your home environment. Then in the fifth house, we have Sagittarius IC. The fifth house is your house of all sort of fun, recreational and romantic activities, having fun, just enjoying yourself, pleasurable activities of all kinds, okay? It's also the house of love affairs. It's the house of your creativity. And it's also the house of children, your children, but it could be also children that you're associated with at this time. So with Sagittarius IC coming in, I think what it is asking you to do is to sort of free yourself up from your normal routines at this time. So freedom from routines is going to be key. And that is going to lift you up and actually give you a change of perspective as well on what's going on. So change it up, find an adventurous activity or an explorative activity, something fun, outgoing, get out in the outdoors. That could be sporty, just something to move your body and have a change of scenery and get out into nature. Sagittarians love all of that. It could also be that, you may be receiving some sort of lucky break in some way in this house, whether it's you or your children, some sort of lucky break coming in. And it could be that you need to change up your activities with your children, or your children need to change up their activities. But, it could be you doing this in conjunction with them to sort of lift the energy levels around you. It could also be that studying is important with this card coming in, creating, even travel, planning some sort of travel activity or just traveling around in general. But study may be indicated, and this may be to do with your children at this time, or you may want to take up an activity which involves studying. With Sagittarius, I see coming in, it's also about being very honest with yourself and with those around you, and speaking your truth in a kind way, but speaking your truth nonetheless. You may also be required to be quite broad-minded at this time. This is one thing about Sagittarius I see as part of being broad-minded. So, looking at changing up your attitudes, changing up your routines, and changing up your views on things as well will go a long way to help you in this house. But it's got an adventurous quality to it, so I feel get out with your children or get out yourself and enjoy some kind of pleasurable activity which has got an adventurous element to it. Then in the 6th house, we have Jupiter return benefits. 6th house is your house of work, your workplace, your work colleagues. It's also your work routines and mastery of your craft, whatever it is that you do. It's also the house of health and diet and lifestyle, and the house of pets, your pets. So with Jupiter return benefits, it's bringing in very nice energy. It's a lovely card to have in this house. So because it's a Jupiter return, something from between 10 to 12 years ago, something that you thought was dead or buried or kind of shelved, some idea or some opportunity or some kind of work project perhaps, something from a while back, normally about 10 to 12 years, that was kind of shelved and never really came to anything. Something from that could come back now to bear fruit. So this is something from the past coming back to bring you benefits in some way. So it's a lovely card to have, so keep a lookout for that. But it is also about doors opening for you, opportunities. Perhaps you're going to have a change of work. But it's quick. Whatever opportunity is going to come for you in this house, it will be quick. With a return, it doesn't last very long. So ensure that whatever opportunities come to you in this house, you follow them up and you work them as far as they will go. Because not all of them will bring you what you want, but there may be something in there which will bring you something, some aspect that you would like to bring into your life at this time. So it's about dreams manifesting as well. It's the yes or the green light card, so doors opening for you. And it could also indicate rescue of some kind, so rescue from a difficult situation or from a difficult period that you've been in your work environment, or just rescuing a situation which everybody thought had gone, had died, and it kind of brings it back to life again. It could also be that, you're tackling, in order to further yourself in your work, you need to go back to university or some form of adult education. That could be coming in for you as well. Publishing is indicated with this card. But it's a very positive card, a very positive influence coming in for you. And as far as health and diet and lifestyle goes, it could be that you are solving or resolving an old issue. So the solution or some kind of remedy, some sort of cure comes back for you now to settle this issue, something that has kind of dogged you for the last few years. When it comes to diet, just be careful with this card coming in. Avoid overindulgence of all kinds, because Jupiter can do that. So it's like just reckless indulgence, eating lots of sugary foods. Weight gain can be indicated with this if you're enjoying yourself, which will happen with the Jupiter return card as well. This is also, because it's your 6th house, is also connected to your 12th house, which is the house of the unconscious, which has also got a very positive card in it. So whatever, these two are linked in some way. So it could be just that your mindset, or, you're being lifted subconsciously about certain things and doors are opening for you. It could be a change of, changing something up in your mindset then opens doors for you in your 6th house as well. So the two are interconnected.